Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing you the Deja Vu of the week, number 2, for the week 2 of the Pro League Round 4. And I know this is a little bit late, we're in the middle of week 3 right now, but this was an end of week choice by you guys, and I was kind of busy over the weekend when these videos were available, so I kind of had to wait until early this week to get this done. But hey, we're getting this done, we're here, and I'm going to be doing these now. And this should actually be a pretty exciting series. There should be some good games in here. I mean, we got Lita, we've got YellOw for height. That should be pretty fun to watch. And then Samsung Khan also is a very deep team. Jangbi, Stork, Firebait here. So hopefully we'll get to see all these players. And in this first game on match point, we're going to see Stork down here in the bottom left, the Protoss, playing against YellOw over in the top right. And honestly, looking at this matchup right off the bat, it looks pretty lopsided. Stork is obviously one of the top players in the league right now. He hasn't been playing as well, I would say, in the last round or so. I think he's been knocked out of both Star Leagues even, but he's still a very, very solid player. Still, of course, the ace for Samsung Khan. And YellOw has looked even in a bigger slump than Stork is. YellOw just has not been getting very many big wins for his team in quite some time. He's been big time struggling, and then it's gotta hurt also knowing that his twin brother is being accused of cheating, and I believe he was even demoted to the B team of KT Rolster because of the investigations and things that were going down. Looks like we're gonna have an overpull here from YellOw. We'll see if he goes for a little bit of some early pressure. Unlikely that he'll catch Stork off guard. Stork should be well prepared for this. But yeah, I mean, when your twin brother, anytime anything happens to family in a sport, obviously you are also going to be perhaps implicated, perhaps at least you're going to have questions as that type of thing. And we'll see how YellOw really handles that. I mean, you look at the NFL, anytime anything happens to Peyton, they ask Eli about anything. Anytime anything happens to Eli, they ask Peyton. It goes back and forth. That's just how it goes. Comes with the territory of having that kind of relationship while in a competitive atmosphere together. But we'll see how he does here. Maybe he can revitalize the park name and get some wins here. Maybe that'll get him going. Who knows? And Stork actually doing a really nice job here, blocking that hatch, even throwing down a pylon there. So just being a huge nuisance right now to YellOw. YellOw's going to have to send that drone all the way to the bottom right to actually put down that hatchery. And his third hatchery will, of course, be delayed as well. Zerglings are out. We got 4 out right now. We'll see if he cheats a drone in. No. We have been seeing some Zerg players do that. Instead of producing 6 Zerglings, they'll produce 4, sometimes even 2 Zerglings only, and try and sneak another drone or 2 in. As long as your Protoss opponent, puts down that photon cannon and pulls off the probes to block, as long as they didn't get that Nexus down first, I think it's actually really nice, because you do get a couple more drones, you do get a little bit more economy, and it doesn't really hurt you at all, as long as you weren't going to go for any sort of a pressure build anyways. About the only thing, if you look at this build, if he hadn't done that, if he hadn't produced all those Zerglings, about the only thing that would have changed is Stork wouldn't have had to pull those extra 2 drones off the line. Other than that, it would have cost YellOw nothing. So I'm just throwing that out there that some players do that, and if you don't catch your opponent off guard, or if your opponent doesn't try to cheat on his cannons or anything, it can come to your advantage. We do have the extractors finally up right now for YellOw as well, and this probe still wandering around, still getting a whole lot of scouting information. Obviously, that probe is going to live for a while with only one Zergling chasing it. Stork probe is not going to fall very quickly. Not throwing down a second cannon right now for Stork. He's going to have to keep those probes off the line for a little bit, just to make sure that until a Zealot can come out and before he can start mining again, just because the threat of that Zergling run by is ever present right now. Especially with another hatchery down in the bottom right, he could theoretically reinforce with another egg or 2 of Zerglings, and that would be problematic if he pulled those probes back. But now it should be okay now that he's got a Zealot out. We do have a Cybernetics core, should be pretty close to finished at this point. Layer has started up as well. Just going to head straight into the mid-game. Looks like this is very, very standard from both players. 3-hatch Spire. Are we going to see 5-hatch Hydra, or are we going to see more of a Lurker build, which is also possible on this map? I actually do like the Lurker build on this map. We'll get Lurkers out, get your your high ground on your side of the map, and then just spam tons of Zerglings, get your opponent moving around, get cracklings all over the place. It's pretty effective on this map. Match point, abuse the low, abuse the paths that there's both the low paths and the high paths, and yeah, sometimes that can really work in this map. We'll see how he decides to play this, though, for sure. Obviously, there are other methods that are possible, and we do have a Stargate and a Citadel Vadoon coming up, so it does look like we're gonna have some a speed lot or a DT build opening, at least, for Stork. And YellOw sees the Stargate. I don't know if he saw the Citadel. Did he see the Citadel? I think he did, actually. I think he saw the Citadel even, too. So he should be well prepared in terms of making sure that he's got an Overlord or two at every single one of his bases. And should be prepared to fight this off. And I don't think that Forge is spinning. Can't tell. I don't think the Forge is spinning. So I don't think this is going to be a quick +1 or anything. We should be seeing a Templar Archives go down pretty immediately here. There is the 4th and the 5th hatchery? 4th hatchery? No 5th hatchery quite yet. Not yet. Yeah, that Forge is not spinning. So we are definitely going to be seeing a Templar Archives pretty shortly here. First Corsair is out. Is going to kill this Overlord that's sitting inside of his base for Stork. Usually players will use their first Corsair actually for scouting information, then use maybe their second Corsair to kill that Overlord. But Stork deciding that he's kept that probe long enough inside of YellOw's base, so he feels pretty comfortable that he knows what's going on, and he could take that time to actually kill that Overlord here. We do have a second cannon coming up now at the natural expansion for Stork. Finally going to play it a little bit safer now, just because he knows that this is a point in the game where units can start being spammed by Zerg if he chooses to do that. And Corsair finally getting the scout out down here as well. A couple Corsairs down here. Gotta be careful if those are Scourge that actually pop out of there. That could actually be problematic for his Corsairs. I think he's hoping that those are Overlords. But this could be interesting. I don't know what's going to pop up down there. We got Scourge at base, at home, and yes, that was an Overlord. Good call by Stork. Is actually going to be able to do a ton of damage to this Overlord. We'll see if he can take it down before the Scourge get down there. And yes, he is. Not even close, actually. That the Scourge weren't even close. So he gets a second Overlord, which is very, very nice for Stork. Hydra's Den is up, as well as the Sunken Colony.